Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kayla. I am your leadership coach. I help leaders and high achievers level up in their leadership skills by getting from where they are to get to where they want to be, whether that's, if you're feeling stuck or maybe you're feeling awesome, you just want to make sure that you're on the right track to keep climbing the ladder, to keep succeeding, and to doing work that feels wonderful and feels aligned with your vision and your values. If you're listening on the podcast at the Glow Getters podcast, thanks for being here. I want you all to know that I have both the YouTube channel and the podcast. And in 2022, my plan is to put content in both places that's the same, so that if you're on the go, maybe you just have the ear and you want to listen on the go, you can just go on the podcast. If you want to watch me, you can find more connection with me on my YouTube channel. Also on my YouTube this year, I'm going to be expanding the information that I share about getting organized and planning. And I know a lot of you are here subscribed around my planners content. And so I will have content every week for both leadership and planner content. So I'm working on a series for both right now. I wanted to get some content out for you for the new year so you can start thinking about how you want to level up in your leadership this year. And so next week is when I'll have more information about the series that are coming out. Today, I want to talk about getting from where you are to where you want to be and that thing that holds us back. And so if anybody out there is a perfectionist, let me know in the comments. I'm raising my hand. Let me know. I want to hear about that because like you, or any of you who raise your hand or put your name in the comments, I can be a perfectionist as well. And what does perfectionism do? Perfectionism can cause us to procrastinate. So if you've ever been a procrastinator, if you label yourself a procrastinator, procrastination is a symptom of perfectionism. And a lot of us high achievers and leaders, I think, suffer from procrastination because we tell ourselves we function better over pressure. We can get the job done. We're always rewarded for it because usually nothing bad happens. But here's what I want to tell you about procrastination. If you do this in your journey to be a better human and to be the best version of you and get to where you want to be, if you procrastinate, you're losing time where you could already be at that next level. And so there's usually a fear around why we procrastinate. And it takes some self-reflection. So as high achievers and leaders, oftentimes we set these large goals that we can measure with numbers and metrics, and we can say we're doing X more, number of shipments, or where our team has reduced our turnaround time by X, or our quality scores are improving by X. But we also need to set goals and think about the self-awareness that we can create as leaders to help us level up so we can be even more next level. And that requires growth. And that requires confronting our perfectionist tendencies head on. So in today's episode and video, I'm going to talk to you about how you can do that. I'm going to help you ask yourself the right questions to move forward and to take action on your goals. And so this is really exciting for me because it's a mindset that I think you can apply to everything that you want to move forward this year. So let's just start out because I know that you guys are all thinking about the goals you have for 2022. Coffee, I need it. Okay, so when I'm coaching my direct reports or other people that I know in my organization, or when I'm coaching myself or when I'm coaching clients, I often hear people say, I don't know what it is that I want to do, but I know I'm made for more. I know there is more to be had for me. I know I'm not using my fullest potential, but I don't know what it looks like. And then I'll also hear a camp of folks that'll say something like, I want to do X, let's say I want to do public speaking, but I don't know how. And so both these groups of people who say, I don't know what it looks like if I were to level up, or I know what I want to do, but I don't know how, they share something in common. And it is this, I don't know the next steps to take to move forward. I don't know how. And it's the how that's paralyzing. If you're here, you love my planner content, you're a planner, right? We like to be organized. High achievers like check boxes. And so we think of what's the plan for me? If we don't have a plan, then we need to create one. But creating the plan can be paralyzing because we want it to be perfect. There comes the perfectionist tendencies. If we write it down on paper, there feels like there's some permanence about it, right? Like we can't change the plan, or, oh, the plan is wrong, we failed. That's not true. You can always change the plan, but you have to start, right? So starting and taking action is the most important thing to moving your dreams ahead, because if you don't take action, if you procrastinate, we'll be where we are. So if we don't take action, we won't change and we won't achieve what we're looking to achieve. So the first piece of advice I want to give you is, if you can picture your goal and the how to get to your goal, I want to keep those two separate buckets, okay? So even if you don't know where you want to be, just say, okay, I have my where I want to be and I have the how to do it, and they're two separate things. Now, if you could just have everything figured out, if you knew the how, could you tell me, what would it look like if you were to level up? What is that goal? Where is it that you want to be? What would that look like? And what would that feel like? And you might be saying, I don't know, that's my problem. If I wasn't afraid of figuring out how to get there, what would it look like to have my ideal day? What would that feel like? And it doesn't have to be perfect, right? You can change your mind. So what I want you to do is pull out a piece of paper and just brain dump, brain vomit, whatever you want to call it. Write down all the things that you would want to do or be or feel if you were to achieve that success or to be in that place where you want to be. So if you're a leader, maybe that means more public speaking. Maybe that means being on a new project. Maybe that means a promotion. Or maybe you're thinking, I want to be more confident. I want to buy a house. Maybe it's something more tangible like that. Whatever it is, write that down and use the prompt. What would it look like if I were to achieve that thing? What would my ideal day be? You can even think about, what brings me the most joy and what energizes me. And you can even think about, what do people say that I'm good at, that I'm like, yeah, I'm good at that. And I really enjoy doing that. And write that down. Now, if you're hitting a block, I have another question for you. And that question is, what if I knew what that thing was? I would throw it back at you and say, okay, if I knew what the thing was, what would it be? Because here's the thing. As perfectionists who procrastinate, there's the fear around how I'm going to do it, but there's also the fear that I'm going to say the wrong thing or pick the wrong thing. And if there's something that's holding you back from declaring what it would look like or what it would be, think about, what am I afraid of, or what is holding me back? And maybe that's the fear of judgment. Maybe that's the fear of failure. Maybe that's the fear of rejection. Maybe you're comparing yourself to somebody else, a friend, a partner, a parent, afraid of what other people think. Really start to think about, what's holding me back from taking action, or why am I afraid to name the thing? And often it's a fear that we have. And we want to identify that. Now, if you're feeling an emotion or a fear, it's good to not let that take full power over you. And so what you can do is, if all of a sudden you feel fear, or you're like sweaty, or you're getting nervous, or you have a pit in your stomach, call it out and say, like, I'm feeling this. You can say it out loud to yourself or in your head, and you can just name it. That's fear. Hello, fear. Thanks for the ride. Come along. You can sit here, but you can't drive, right? You're driving. You can do anything that you want to put your mind to. You just have to, declare it. Own that for yourself. So once you decide where it is that you want to go, then we can start to back up and think, okay, how do I take action? Because once you take action, then you're going to have more confidence and you're going to keep taking more action. And taking little actions to close the gap between where you are and where you want to go is going to help you achieve the goal. And once you have some more momentum, it's less hard to procrastinate because you're excited. You're excited about the journey. You can get from A to B. If you've been feeling overwhelmed about how to get somewhere, I want you to think about, what's the first step that I can take? Just the first step on my journey. So if it's public speaking, that first step might be just letting people know in your industry that I'm available to public speak. And if anybody has any opportunities, please think of me. And here's my contact info. And then once you identify what that next step is, who are you going to reach out to? When are you going to reach out to them? And set a deadline. If you are more firm with yourself about setting a deadline, you are more likely to follow through than if you don't set a deadline and just say, oh, I'm going to reach out at some point. All right, everybody, thank you for being with me. I want to keep this short and sweet for you. So let's recap. If you are finding it hard to move forward on, whatever your greater purpose is or that thing that you want to do, ask yourself, am I procrastinating? And am I worried about the how? How am I going to do it? Think about where you are, where you're going, and ask yourself, what would it look like if I achieved where I'm going? What would that look like? If the hows were taken care of, what would that look like? What would my ideal day feel like? What brings me joy? What excites me? What do people tell me I'm good at? What do I love doing? And if I knew what that was, what would it be? Once you've figured out, yeah, that sounds good, I'm excited about it, ask yourself, what's holding me back? Am I afraid of rejection, fear of failing? What is that? And just know that, okay, when I feel that way, I'm going to call it out, but I'm not going to let that power over me. I'm going to take action. And think of the very first step you can take, and then give yourself a deadline and commit. Commit here and now to doing the work to change your life. If this was helpful, please let me know in the comments. And also know if you are looking for someone to help you level up in your leadership journey, I am a coach. I'm available to help you. You can go in the description below or in the show notes on the podcast and click the link on how to work with me. I have a short survey that you can fill out just to, get on my books, to have a conversation, a free consultation to see if we'd be a good fit. And then we can talk about what it might look like to work together so that I can help you level up and coach you to achieve your goals within leadership, as you are such a high achiever, and excited to partner with you on your journey. All right, everybody, take care. Until next time, be a light.